Good morning, girls. Today we discuss about the collective bargaining and wages. The perfectly competitive theory of wages determination gives fairly good results, but it cannot explain all aspects of wage determination. Of all the factors in existence, labor is a special type of factor. It is different from all other factors. The wage that a worker gets and the circumstances in which he has to work both influence him and his family. This is why the worker is even prepared to fight for a wage. The level of wage does influence labor productivity. It is but one factor. Other factors such as owner worker relationship to have an effect on productivity. In order to increase their bargaining power in wage determination, workers organize themselves in trade, the labor union, while owners from cartels or employers association for the same purpose. So wages are the result of collective bargaining. Collective bargaining means negotiations between the employees and employers about the establishment of procedures and rules to cover the conditions of work and rates of pay. This term collective bargaining is a very important, and wages are commonly fixed in a bargaining theory of wages. In collective bargaining process, it is an arrangement that differs from the orthodox demand supply adjustment process. In the bilateral monopoly model, the outcome is indeterminate, but the outcome of the bargaining process between the representatives of the management and labor is determinate. In the bargaining theory, the primary emphasis is placed on the analysis of the bargaining process rather than on the general analysis of supply and demand for labor. Collective bargaining may take many forms. A few important models are discussed. The first is the one seller and many buyers. This is the first model. And suppose one trade union has control over all the workers in an industry. In this situation, the supply of labor cannot increase unless wages rise. In the diagram presents this situation. In the figure, curve S shows the marginal cost, yani MC, of the supply of labor at various levels. The labor unions is in effect a monopolist, knowing well that the demand for a labor curve has a negative slope. Labor union restricts the supply of workers to the point where the MC of labor equals the MRP. As shown in the diagram, labor union agrees to supply of the labor in OQ2 quantity and demands a wage of OW2. OW1 is the wage determined in a perfect competition where wages is equal to marginal cost of labor. Union determines wage a higher than the competitive wage, but union determines the supply is a lower than the perfectly competitive supply. The form of collective bargaining that was discussed had been one in which the workers sell their labor as a monopolist, but the buyer of the labor purchase it in the competitive labor market. So the labor union is in a position to raise its wage above the competitive level. However, the union has to pay a price for it in terms of lower employment. At the higher wage, the supply of workers will tend to rise, and this will put pressure on the union to cut waste. Only the powerful union can check these pressures. Now,